The video which you are about to see is an account of how an independent low-budget horror film took the world by storm. The entire planet could not have expected, nor would they have even wished to see some of the mad and macabre that they were to see on that screen. The events from that film were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre motion pictures in the annals of American history, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. With the upcoming release of the Netflix film, I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to show off my Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection, give my opinions on the sequels, and my predictions on how the 2022 film will turn out. Arguably considered one of the scariest movies of all time, and the granddaddy of all slashers, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed by a group of unknowns out of Austin, Texas. The film was released in 1974 and since then has terrorized moviegoers for generations and even earned its place in the Museum of Modern Art. Although the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has earned its place in movie history, the follow-up films never really seem to resonate with audiences. From the satirical sequel to the polished Platinum Dunes remakes to now even legacy character Sally Hardesty making a return, let's take a closer look at this troubled franchise. And up first, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is definitely one of my least favorite sequels. However, I can appreciate the different approach Tobe Hooper took with this one. With such a controversial and impactful film as the original, it's almost impossible to follow that up as we have seen over the years. The good thing about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was that we had a A-lister here, Dennis Hopper, and also over time we've got to see Bill Moseley and Caroline Williams flourish in the horror genre. And the gore factor is definitely upped in this one, where all the gore is implied in the first one. This movie kind of starts out with a bang with sawing off people's heads. There's a great hammer scene with Chop Top. And Chop Top is another thing I've always wondered. Is it the hitchhiker? Is it a different guy? Now that it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre season, I'll probably put this in and, see if I could appreciate it more. I never really have, besides the gore and stretch. But yeah, this is an excellent addition from Arrow Video. It has Tobe Hooper's early films, and it even has a 100-page booklet. Yeah, I never liked how Leatherface looked in this one either. This is a definite love-hate type of movie, as all the other sequels are. So let's move on and check out some more. All right, next up is Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Another one, I'm really not very familiar with this movie. I was kind of late to watching it. And also, there's an R-rated and an unrated. I believe this is the unrated though. And this also has Viggo Mortensen and Ken Foree. I don't know, the good thing about this sequel was the cover, the Saw his family, and like the teaser trailer where he's out by the lake. So this is just one that I'm gonna need to rewatch and try to get something out of it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, starring Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, which I have this DVD edition here. Now this one, I think is like underrated, shall I say, because this movie was originally titled The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, released in 1994, I believe. I always, kind of like this movie, especially at the end dinner scene when like Matthew McConaughey's like screaming in Renee Zellweger's face, and Leatherface looks like divine and is acting like a woman. It's funny where I didn't, I found the humor in this one versus, part two. And then, that great ending with the motorhome and him swinging in the sunrise. So I always felt that this one was like one of the first, remakes of the original film. I like that picture there. And this is directed by Kim Henkel, who wrote the original, written and directed by Kim Henkel. A lot of people hate this one, it has really low ratings, but I don't know why. It's not that bad. And like the crawl of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 says, you know, for 10 long years, silence. That was pretty much the case after The Next Generation was released until, I believe it was 2003, when we got the official remake from Michael Bay and Platinum Dunes, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, starring Jessica Biel from Seventh Heaven fame. She's married to Justin Timberlake, isn't she? Damn. She did pretty good for herself. So this is a really cool packaging here. Now, this movie is like The Hills Have Eyes remake. Everyone loves this movie, except me. I don't really like this movie too much because I love the original so much that this movie was, you know, the MTV version. It was just so polished and beautiful, and the cinematography was excellent. And, you know, the original is such a dirty, ugly film. So, yeah, there was just something about this movie that just never really hit me. And on top of that, for a remake of the original, there's no dinner scene, okay? So, I never liked this movie, but I loved the follow-up, which was Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, with Jordana Brewster from the Fast and Furious franchise. Now, this film is nasty, brutal, violent, whereas that Jessica Biel version, it wasn't that bad, you know, but this one, unrated. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. And both films have R. Lee Ermey, who does an excellent performance as what's his name? Hoyt. Sheriff Hoyt. So I love the 2006 version, The Beginning. It's violent, it's nasty, and at the same time has that lush look that the 2003 version had. So as far as sequels goes, The Beginning is definitely one of my favorites. Do your thing, cuz. Texas Chainsaw 3D is our first post-2010 Leatherface film. And I got it perfectly queued up here so there's no glare. And I think this one is a pretty underrated movie, in my opinion. This one gets a lot of hate for no reason. Now, what I liked about Texas Chainsaw 3D was how they connected it to the original. I'm kind of a sucker for showing the original footage in the movie. So the film opens up recapping the original Chainsaw Massacre because this is supposed to be a direct sequel to the original. Yes, this one, the budget is pulled back a little bit compared to the Platinum Dunes versions, but there's something about Texas Chainsaw 3D that I always liked and didn't understand why people gave it such a hard time. Mostly because the part where Alexa Diadrio, she's looking at graves, and someone decided to do the math that, you know, you would be older or younger. I think someone had a little too much time on their hands. You know, you're not supposed to be paying attention to mathematics and specifics and things like that. I mean, the movie is called Chainsaw, all right? I honestly didn't think this movie was as bad as everyone made it out to be. Unfortunately, I think it has one of the lowest ratings on IMDb, followed by Next Generation. So it seems like I like the worst ones in the franchise. I think they get kind of a bad rap. They get a hard time. I don't know why I like Texas Chainsaw 3D. Even Do Your Thing, cuz. Don't fuck with Texas. All that corniness. I liked it. Now, that was the last Leatherface film that was released in theaters. Streaming on Shudder right now is Leatherface. I'm not sure if that has a physical release or not, and I didn't add it to the collection. I don't even remember watching the entire film. I can't even make it through like 15-20 minutes of it but I keep hearing good things about it. It seems to get positive reviews. So one day I really just gotta sit down and watch the whole thing. This new 2022 film that's going to Netflix, to me, just by looking at the trailer, it seems to be in line with the Texas Chainsaw 3D. It has similar vibes to that one versus the Platinum Dunes one. When the new trailer came out for this Netflix film, it's really getting, hated on. They're saying it's this and that because the guy said, we're gonna cancel you, bro. Honestly, it looks about the same level as all these other sequels, Halloween, Scream. It looks on the same level. So, you know what? It's going to Netflix. Watch it for free. Not much complaining on my end. And now, finally, here we are. My original Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection from VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. No 4K release yet. Let's start with our VHS of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, when I was a kid in the video store, this was the copy I remember seeing most. And I think this cover is really scary to this day. Seeing Sally's eyes and then just him running and his mask looks scary there. And I like that line across Massacre, like how Psycho did. It's just an uneasy type of feeling. Now, this cover was the one I remember seeing possibly in like Suncoast or, those type of video stores and like other video stores. And I remember seeing on the bottom of here how it's like uncut and unedited, the original director's cut. So I remember being a kid being like, what? There's a director's cut? And then come to find out I rented this and it's the same version I've been seeing. Uncut and unedited. So I'd love to see the cut version of this film because I've never seen it compared to like Last House on the Left or other Jason Goes to Hell where there's obvious edits. I've never seen a cut version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So those were my VHS copies. Now here is one of my DVD copies here. Now this was the second release, I believe. There was a Pioneer original DVD that I had that release. But once I got this one, now this is supposed to be like the ground beef. I think this was just a repackaging. But what I remember on that original Pioneer, look, it says Pioneer MPI on the bottom there. When Sally gets her finger cut and she passes out, the camera pulls back from the house, pulls all the way back, and then it transitions into the full moon. On that Pioneer original release, I remember there being a glitch in that moon shot. There was just a really bad glitch in there. So that was one of the first things I saw on this. I made sure that the glitch was fixed, and it was. So I guess that's why I always hung on to this version. After that Pioneer DVD was the Dark Sky release. This is the 2-disc Ultimate Edition on Steelbook. All right, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So this one has the Shocking Truth documentary. This one is a really good release to have. The Shocking Truth documentary, and I believe it's on the 40th anniversary one as well, is a must have for any Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. Now I sort of have another Blu-ray, sort of two Blu-ray releases here because this is the Dark Sky just Blu-ray release. One disc there. You see it's the same image of Pam and the meat hook. But I remember there was also, I guess this is the 40th anniversary edition, but the bare bones version. It just has commentaries on this one. And I remember really liking the slip cover. So I think I like bought it and then returned it without the slip and just kept the slip. So, shh, our little secret. And as you can see here, it says the 40th anniversary all new 4K restoration. And finally, I have the 40th anniversary collection here. Now, I was just thinking what I hate about releases now is the combo packs, these Blu-ray DVD combo packs. I mean, someone's getting an extra movie, an extra copy of the movie that they're not going to use. But as you can see, the packaging is excellent. And here is the other side. Great packaging, but I hate those extra discs. And that's everybody now. I mean, if you don't have a 4K player, then you got the extra 4K disc. If you don't have or if you have a 4K but don't use the Blu-ray, now you got the extra Blu-ray disc. Whose bright idea was to give all these discs away? Before I wrap up this video, like I told you about the glitch on that Pioneer, as amazing as the movie looks now, there's audio glitches on here where at the end when Sally screams in the van, and I think there's a glitch in the beginning with the pictures when the hitchhiker is taking the pictures. Now, I've been seeing this movie my entire life, so you know that bothers me to no end. Where I was even thinking of picking up like a German version out there. I was told that the glitches are fixed. I might have it. Hold on. All right, guys, I found the final disc, Blu-ray disc of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the original artwork here. Now, this is a Region B release, but it does say Dark Sky there. I'm not too sure if that 40th anniversary is as well. Yes, it is. I think these still have the glitches, but that German release doesn't. But I've never added that German one to my collection. I remember after I bought this and it still had the glitches, I was like, enough already. But it still has that, you know, I must have wanted this original artwork here. You know, I used to have a poster somewhere, but it got damaged. So I need to get another poster, blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for watching this video and looking at my Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection. Let me know if you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Guys, I'm almost at 500 subscribers. Please get me to 500 and beyond. Let me know if you're excited for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film that's coming to Netflix. And I'll see you in the next video.